Welcome to the Grand Design series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're picking up on the 9th of March 1928, which is a little bit further on than I actually intended to play, but I had a little bit of a review about some of the things that I've been doing, also about the relation to the compost plant, but I'll come back to that. Now, the title of this video is called Self-Sufficiency ? And the reason for that is that a key element of this game is self-sufficiency, but at the same time you need to ask a question about how self-sufficiency will actually work, and more importantly, how close can you actually get. It looks like we've got somebody breaking down here, which is a bit of a problem as well, so we're just going to put you there, so we can go there. I've also got a problem over here. So before we actually start talking about self-sufficiency, I need to fix a couple of things. I think what's happened here is these guys I've been asphalting up the road, and I think if we speed it up now, these guys should find a path out of here now. Although this one here, this guy seems to be a little bit stuck. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll tell him to change depot. Either that, or sometimes they actually get stuck in the building. What we can do is actually demolish the building. Then he might get freed up eventually and return to wherever he's got to go. Next thing we're going to have to do is this truck here, construction prime. Where are you? It looks like it might have just been a random breakdown, but what we probably will need to do is get him flagged, because he is at 58% now, but it's 8 months. We'll let him run a little while. Now, one major change since the end of the last part is the fact we've now got the prison up and running here. It did have prisoners in, but obviously not all the ones are going. Now, I'm not going to remove the historic prison that's over here, wherever it is there, simply because what I want to do is have 2 prisons to provide insurance against earthquakes. I think we're okay from that, so we're just going to leave prison warders in there. Everything is equipped. So let's just get on to the composting plant. Now, if you watch the previous part, you'll be aware that I put the normal compost in here. But after I finished the video, I actually did a check, because it suddenly occurred to me that somebody must have made a mod fixing this problem. And what I found was this one. It's exactly the same building. It's got all the same stats. The only difference is that it's got it's just the compost building itself here. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to put you there, and then it means that what we can do at the back here is put in a dump. We don't need anything special. I mean, we could probably get away with 60 tons of fertilizer. Maybe we'll go a little bit bigger. I don't think the difference between making this and let's just use gravel and concrete. This just needs a little bit of prefab, a little bit of steel. I think we're actually just make the 2 up like that, and then we'll just put you there like that. Of course, what I'm going to have to do is, and of course I've been a bit tricky in the sense that I've actually connected up to here. So what we can do is drop off into here, make it that one that way, and then this one will come this way. And what that means is that the biological waste being dropped off will go into here, where it'll be sucked into the fertilizer plant, where it comes out as fertilizer and come back that way. So that's there. Now this town is growing very, very quickly, which is surprising. So I think we could be starting to get to a point where we might, in fact, you can see, oh no, we got a little bit of unemployment, but I don't think it's in this area. Yeah, we got A little bit of unemployment scattered around here and here. So what it is odd people who are unemployed kind of scattered around the map here. So it's not like we've got an unemployment hotspot, though we do need to keep an eye on up here. If I get to put this in, because eventually, because I've got some buildings feeding specific industries, eventually there will be a bit of a problem here if I'm not careful. Anyway, and then over here we are kind of working our way to get the connection here. We're building a fire station because I want the fire protection here as well, which reminds me we need to make how many fire engines am I going to need? 4. I'm not sure if we're going to put down and build 4 fire trucks. 50, 43, 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Okay, got fire. Should be okay. No real problem. Well, we've got our fire trucks coming in from there. Now, another thing that I've started work on is a full-size silo here. Because I'm feeling that, I mean, we're only on the 28th of March. These are filling up. This is filling up. And I feel that we're not getting the full capacity from this area. So I thought if I put in a grain storage here, we can be able to fill this up during the summer, which will then give us more reliability. In fact, it looks like we got 21 workers without a job. Okay. Yeah, we got a lot of workers there. I think what I will do is we're gonna actually pick up our workforce from here, and we'll also put this one here. I do plan to build another construction office. I think this one's already picking up, so what we're going to do is draw the workforce from here, and what that will mean is that the workforce here can be sent out in this area here. Now I do have a problem this area here, in the sense that see, we got a waste problem here. We got lots and lots of rubbish building up here. I'm kind of flipping stuff backwards and forwards because I'm trying to avoid going for anything complicated, so we may end up with more and more of these dumps being built at the moment, just to try and deal with the overflow of the waste until we've got our waste up here. That's the update. Let's just talk about what I want to talk about in this video, and that is self-sufficiency. Now, self-sufficiency is a very key mechanic of the game for 2 reasons. One is the fact that you've only got so many of these customs posts on a map, and also you can also import by ship or by air. But the problem is that doing that is both expensive and time consuming, because what you actually get is inflationary pressure, and that inflation works every year. So everything you're importing is getting a little bit more expensive year in, year out. So the longer the game goes on, the more and more that will cost you. So it's very important to start producing key resources almost from the beginning of the game. Another element of self-sufficiency is that it's important to decide on what you can import, what you can make yourself, and if you're going to work from the point of view of generating goods to export, what you need to produce in surplus in order to make the money to cover for those items that you do need to import. That's particularly relevant to a mechanic in here when you're playing on realistic mode, which is automatic vehicle replacement. And what you can call this is the dark side of the self-sufficiency, because at the moment you can set this up to replace vehicles at a certain amount of time. But you can see I've already got 5 pages. Being able and to try and be self-sufficient in vehicles can be incredibly difficult, simply because the way it actually works is, in fact, if I kind of do by filter, by filter is probably the best way of doing it. So if we can get a good, so say here for open holes, what you've got to do is decide on which vehicles you want to replace with which, but at the same time, and this is very important, that you've either got to buy the vehicles, because it says up here, purchase from new, vehicle from storage, vehicle from depot, and then you've also got to send that vehicle to a scrapyard. Now, what happens is that vehicles will often not be replaced until the vehicle gets to a scrapyard. That means if you're going to run a self-sufficient vehicle replacement scheme, what you've got to do is have scrapyards scattered across the map, which will then, where vehicles can be sent to be taken apart, is probably the correct way of saying it. And then that leads on to the fact that these produce materials which then have to be either used or exported. And another thing is, if you're running vehicles, you've got to be able to get the resources into a vehicle production plant. Then you need to get those vehicles into the correct place where you actually want to use them. And that means that you've got to get both resources into these vehicles and then also move the vehicles somewhere where you go. Now, each one of these plants, if you want, unless you want to spend a lot of time micromanaging, can only build one type of vehicle. So if you actually go back to here, what it means is that as your economy gets bigger and bigger, you need to start standardizing your vehicles. So you only produce one type of vehicle to replace a vehicle. But the downside is, now if you imagine, like, say, from a point of view, say for example you build a production plant down here that produces covered holes. And now what the game will do is, say for example you want to replace a covered hole up here, the game will actually bring the covered hole from the bottom right hand corner of the map. But of course it will probably take a couple of years for that vehicle to get to where it wants to go. Now that's fine if what you're doing is not particularly important, but say for example that was in a food supply system, then you can get yourself into all sorts of trouble. And this is where self-sufficiency and stability starts to come into structure. Now, so what I want to do is, how do you solve that problem? And the one is by effectively providing local self-sufficiency. I think a mistake that many new players make, and then some even experienced players do, they go for these very large centralized production areas. Say they produce all their steel in one area, and then they set up a very complex rail network to send the steel all over the map. Now, the problem with that is that it takes time to distribute the stuff, plus the fact that there is now this thing with both building maintenance and vehicle maintenance. Say for example here, if we come into this house that's being maintained, you can see here what this needs to be actually built needs bricks, boards and steel. But in relatively, so what it means is you've got to distribute bricks, boards and steel all across the map to be able to just maintain your buildings. And then of course with maintaining vehicles like this, these need all the resources down here: plastics, electro components, electronics and fabric. I'll be completely upfront, the thought of trying to provide a centralized supply system to supply all those demands on top of all the other requirements that people want is pretty daunting. And I think, to be honest, it's pretty impractical from the point of view of once you get a very big complex society. I mean, it works when you've got like 3 small towns like this, but once you start going across the map, it will go thing. This is the reason why you need to identify certain items which can be produced locally. And a good example of this is that it's far easier to set up something like this, even if you're not using the heating plant, to produce planks locally, and by locally I'm saying within 3 or 4 kilometers. And then what that means is that if there's any need for planks for construction, maintenance or anything like that, this can be provided locally. And I think that also goes down to food production, clothes these, rather than trying to produce everything in a central location, you've got to kind of diversify and spread the risk a little bit. So basically what I'm getting at is that self-sufficiency is possible. Whether it's possible to 100% is very, very difficult. It depends on how strong your logistics system is. But I think you have to accept that there will be times when you want to buy stuff. And it may even mean resorting to importing some materials into by helicopter. But at the same time, you've got to make enough money to pay for, say, vehicle replacement from the point of view. If we go back to here, you could say, right, purchase new vehicles. Just set it to purchase new vehicles by default. So that, and what that means is any time a vehicle gets to a criteria where it actually needs to be replaced. I mean, 20 years is pretty optimistic, to be honest, because it says wear and tear 80% vehicle age 20 years. You probably would need to drop that down considerably. And then what you're going to have to do is actually pay for that vehicle to be replaced. And of course, it means you're going to have to keep this idea up and kind of up to date over time. And of course, don't forget that when I'm talking about vehicles, I know I'm looking at this for road vehicles. There's also the consideration you need to make with respect to helicopters, aircraft, and shipping. It looks like we might have actually solved the problem with the actual cars now. I think these are waste trucks. Yeah, I'll be completely honest. I think building a very big economy that's with a high level of self-sufficiency, with all the supporting logistics, is the real challenge of the game. And probably the best way to describe it is when you first start out, it's a city building game. As the game grows and the economy grows, it becomes more of a logistics game. So the game actually changes over time according to how far you're going. Anyway, that's all I really want to say about self-sufficiency, simply because it's a very deep subject. It's quite complex, and it's going to be, and it is very challenging. Hopefully with this series we'll be able to explore it to quite some depth. Looks like we've actually got prisoners in here now. Anyway, so let's just get back to the mundane of this area. As you can see, we are working on this area. Would like, if possible, we've got grain storage, we've got heavy cable. So these guys are working on the cable poles. Sources without steel. I think what we're going to have to do is go back to importing steel. And again, this is another example of how this game, things can change all the time. Yeah, I mean, we've got a pile of money, we might as well use it, because of course that's slowing up our maintenance at the same time. Yeah, I think at the moment productivity is more important than right. We've now got this point here, and what I want to do is come there, and I want to just do that final part there. I mean, probably sometime in the future we will have to obviously upgrade this road to asphalt, but we've now got the roundabout connection there, we've got this connection here. I think I would like, if we've got the spare capacity, I want to create a little bit of an angle there. Actually, no. Change of plans. Move back there. I think this is going to be quite an important junction sometime in the future. Let's come there. I think we're come there. What we're going to do is build a fairly I think we've got a little bit of unevenness here. Just going to give us a So we're just gonna have to yeah, I think we'll make it a little bit smaller. And let's do it again. Because I've got to start thinking a little bit about where we're going to be going. I think we can clamp you down in a little bit like that. And then you there. Bring. It's only going to be a 3-way roundabout. So and then you. There's a no. It's not a node there. And you can. Oops. You come there. And you can hook up around here like this. Where remove you. And what we can do is start to build in this area here. I mean, this is going to be a late development. The main one we've got to focus on is, oh no, it's the right town in the right place. So we do need to get this all connected up. I think what I will do, if we've got pilot, we got this connection here. I think I would like to down to start getting this built in here and out here. Don't think the road crew in this area has got much to do, so yeah, so you can pick up these and then eventually you picked up this bit here, and then the road crew over here, wherever you are, there you are, you're working on this bit here, and eventually you'll work into that bit there. Like, we've got a bit of spare road here that shouldn't be here. Actually, we'll put that in as well. We need to connect this up. So this area here is slowly coming together. What I'm really interested in is getting this finished. Oh, it's nearly finished actually. Well, okay. Then what we'll do is we'll make a change here. Come on, you can do it, game. It's not bad on the 21st of May. And what we're going to do is put you there. Unload. Set you to 90%. And to begin with, what we'll do is we'll let these guys steal that. Once we start getting enough crops in here, we can get 3,200 tons of crops in here. What we'll do is we'll move this distribution to here. That means they won't need to come down into this area here, but we need to get enough crops into there for the moment to be able to get things done. I could actually do another covered hole in here now. That's a dumper. Yep. You can go into there. Okay, we got a fire. That should be okay. This area's working pretty good. We might need to get a little bit more efficiency into there. My main area, another area of concern is close. Kind of thinking I'm just going to increase that close capacity for the moment, because our actual close production is 0.72 tons of clothes at maximum, but maximum workload. I got a feeling, again, returning to self-sufficiency, that as this town grows, and then of course we're going to need to start working on this town, which means we're going to need to start. I got a feeling we're going to need some more clothes production. Now, we do have a source of timber here. So I'm wondering whether we can put some low-level clothes production into here. But to do that, we're going to need to make sure that we've got quite a lot flowing into here. I think what we will do now is change this. Cannot assign any more buildings. Okay. I think they're on here. So that's not that one. I think that's close pickup. God, we've got to keep that. It's this one. Yep. So we can remove you and put you on. Now what I am going to do is now remove you from these here. That's the 2 grain stores. That means they won't have to come all the way to here. They only got to come to there and pick up. And then what these guys can do is keep shunting all the grain into here as fast as it can go. Well, where did you come from? You're a long way from home. Yep. Yeah, we can. And what that should do is keep these guys should keep busy, and there will be less blocking here, because some of these trucks are actually from this one over here. Now another thing I was building over here, which I need to fix, is it's this one. I need to copy task to there, and then I don't want that, don't want that, don't want that, don't want that. What I do want is all the booze distribution. What we're going to need to do is bring in a small cupboard hole. Capacity 2.5 tons of alcohol. You're only 21 kilometers now. Let's look at speed. 0.75, that's not good enough. 0.85. 1.5 at 30 kilometers an hour. See, none of these vehicles are really that fast, but I think maybe we'll get 2 of those in. I don't think we need the scrapping facility there. We certainly don't want that. We don't want the cold storage. What I want us to do is actually deliver to the pubs. And then what that will mean is that I can remove, because what's happening is that this repair control can't keep up with what's going on. Oh, this reminds me. Somebody posted a comment about the horse feed converter needing to research. Now, because this is seen as part of vehicle production, and in the fact that it also produces things like electro components, electronics. You've got to do a lot of research for this. And somebody actually said in the comments that they had that unlocked. But one thing that does concern me about that comment, I don't think I've got any. I think I've demolished all my feed containers now. The problem is that the buildings. Oh, I've got this bit of road here. Just get rid of you. That can go. The problem is that if I show you, this is the actual this converter, but if I show you the garage one, the actual horse feeding building looks almost exactly the same. So the model's the same, but they do have two different functions. So be very careful, because the actual horse feeding station is actually available from the get-go, but the actual one that does the conversion, this one, isn't available from the get-go. What you've got to do is actually do the research. And if you're interested in the research, it's what was it? You've got to research. I think you've got to research engineering through here, and you've also got to research this thread here. So you've got to do a lot of research to actually unlock that force feed converter, but it is quite important. Oh, wow, oh my god, I've got a wagon here. Oh, this is repair control. Yeah, this is what I was trying to deal with. Is this actually now? Yeah, those are the pubs. I think I'm going to get another vehicle, a couple of vehicles for this. What's this? These are the R3s, covered holes. Get two more of those because we got quite a lot. And then what that means is I can come here, and because we only got so many of these vehicles, and I think we're going to remove the pickup here, remove you, and what this is going to do is separate the roll between these two buildings, and that should improve the efficiency of this building here. I think what we will call it booze delivery. Again, returning to self-sufficiency, you know, you do need these specialized distribution offices. Distribution offices are the key to being able to come there. We got here a covered hole, you can come into there. I think it's time now to do the vehicle wear and tear. Okay, we got an open hole here, moving a crane. It's got 64%. I don't think I've got any open holes to replace that with. Just put you over there. Where are you? Yeah, you're working there. There, we got an open hole here. Construction prime. I think you've got to go. I'm kind of on this mission to kind of upgrade my vehicles, which is again is part of the process of, especially when you play early access, not early access, what am I about, an early start. This is construction prime, so put you in there. So that gets rid of one of them. What was the other one? That's entire map wear and tear. We got covered. Okay, we got. Okay, right, we're gonna have to keep an eye on this guy. I don't want to put a big covered hole in here. What I want to do is put a small one in, because these guys don't actually carry anything as such, or they carry 2 tons of service material. So as long as a covered hole can carry a couple of tons, I suppose the key factor here is actually pace. So Let me just see. Oops, where did you go? You're up there. See if there's any problems with the horse veterinarian, because that shouldn't take that long to repair. No resources. Okay. What's going on here? Got no wood delivery. Should be delivering wood to here. What's going on here? I need to tidy up some of this stuff. Okay, you're meant to be here. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, looks like we've only got the 2 trucks delivering here. I think that's okay. Right, it looks like our friend here is now on the move. So what we'll do is, I thought I'd got rid of all the horse-drawn vehicles, but you go. Bye-bye. And we'll just get back to here. We've got a Mac AC. It'd be nice if I could put another Mac AC in, if nothing for the speed. Let me just see. Yeah, we got a Mac AC here, so we can just plug you into. Although, oh no, that's a dumper. Sorry, that's the covered hole. I've hooked the wrong one. What's this here? Come here, wood distribute. What I'm going to do here is we're going to purchase an open hole. Capacity again. Going to get another one of those just to increase it. We've only got the 1 dry bulk vehicle here as well, so I think what I might do is 0.5, 2.5, 3 tons. Put another one of those in there, because we think we should be exporting. Yeah, we got quite a lot of cement in here. It looks like because we've now got the population settling down a bit, we are actually producing a lot more steel and stuff, and bricks. Wow, lots of bricks. Let's get back over to here. Right, we've built the cableways. They're all connected. I think we need this cableway built now. That needs to be our next priority. This guy doesn't have anything to do. We could probably give that a go and start working on this area here. I do need to make a road connection here, which I haven't done yet. Okay, this is going to be a bit messy, but it'd be okay, because this is just the coal processing point here, and at the end of the day all we need in here is the workforce. In fact, can I get a, yeah, what we can do is just kind of hook in there with a bit of mud road there. And of course what we're going to need to do is, because I don't think the workforce can get to this building, which hasn't got a road connection either, because we got this road connection. Okay, this is what's in the way. I can't see anything. Start connecting in new, because this is the power plant itself, so we need that connected. This needs to be built, but we can build that eventually. And then what we can do then is, once these are built, we can put a footpath. Well, we probably don't need a footpath actually, but well, we probably do need a footpath. What we can do is kind of connect across from there to there to there, and then that will hook up. I must admit, I thought there was a connection, but maybe there isn't. No. Let's have a look at the footpath connection. Yeah, there's a footpath connection there. And we could put a footpath to there, to there, to there. So our next priority is this. Because if we can get this connection done, it means we can start moving our workforce. So, wow, what we got? Number of workers here. That's a bit of a mistake. Sorry about that. That might actually cause some unemployment. But I think what we could probably do now is start removing some of these kind of restrictions that I put in. Because we should have enough workforce in here now to allow these people to start deciding where they want to work, rather than me telling them allow workers to flow into here. Okay, I think I put some workers in here. Just have a double check. Probably the easiest way to detect it is if you go and look for unemployed workers. Okay, we got some unemployed workers there. We've got 2 unemployed workers there. Okay, we're okay at the moment. We've got biological waste. How are we doing here? I think these guys are struggling a little bit. And we may have to bring in some extra trucks. I think we've only got 6 trucks here, so it should be delivering the... I think what we're going to do is put some more trucks on here. This is because these are full, so this is way too efficient. So yeah, we need more. Just clear that, the compost guy. Distribution, I could get another. Get another 6 trucks here so that we can keep loading the stuff into there. I mean, this is a risk. How are we doing here? We're on the 21st of July. Let me just see you work on that. That has to be high priority. So, anything else I can assign you to that needs to be built? We got some properties here. I think we'll get you working on that, and so that we've got a workforce here. What have we got up around here? Yeah, this is our kind of historical row here. Oh yeah. That's something that I need to do. You finish that off. Yeah, because what we're getting here is waste, too much waste building up. Not that much amount of waste is going to build up, simply because I think this is just being kept full all the time. Starting to think. Yeah, let me just see. Let me come here. I'll drop a save, because there's always a risk when you do a clone of the game actually crashing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come here. I'm going to copy this area here. Ah, lost a building. Try again. First you don't succeed. Actually, let me just try and pick up the whole area like that. We could push this out like that. We could put some more trees out there, and we could make this into a completely self-contained unit, couldn't we? It'd be within walking distance of that area there. Yeah, I think we could make this work. I put you in there. See if we can hook up. You can go to there. Yeah. Okay, that could be an issue. Anyway, we got that connected. Where's the road connections? Yeah, we got the road there. We got, what was it? We would, why is that not connected? This is always a downside of when you're doing this. Connect that up. Yeah, well, what I have to do is redo this, open the store, and just demolish that. We will put in the cargo pickup points, put a 4-point cargo pickup in front like that, and then put you there. Run you around like that, bring you in like that, and then you can probably come into there like that. Just quick check. Yeah, I think we can get, well, we can run a footpath directly from there to there. Yeah, I think it's going to be no real problem connecting up that, but what we will need to do is put a open store, small open store. Okay, put you, actually we could get a little bit of an industrial complex here. We're gonna have to extend the power supply as well. Get something like that. Put a wood cutting post about there, like that. If I trim, just trim that road back a little bit. Well, we got a small, yeah, I think because that would get us very close to this edge, which means that we can start thinking about, this is what I want to start thinking about in the next part, a small carpenter's workshop running off of there. Maybe just curve back a bit like that. We could run this road through here like that to about there, and then eventually you could run across to there, and then, oops, that looks a horrible mess. Okay, let's just trim this back and tidy this up a bit. You can run to there, you can run to there, so we'll put you to there, you can run to there, and then you can run up to there, you can run up to there. Yeah, I think that will work, and we can run a footpath. I mean, if the push comes to shove, we got a store here, so we could put some more accommodation in here to actually make this actually come together and work as a unit. And then the only downside is we will need even more crops, and then of course what we can do is put some trees here which we can supply, because this doesn't need that much in the way of trees. So I think this more than stays on top of what it's done. And then that means we can produce more clothes out here, which will then can be then used to supply this town, and any future town going this way. Plus we will need to ship clothes out to here. See how well, yeah, these guys are really cracking on here. Okay, we got a little bit of road there, which is a mistake, but that's okay. And what we'll do is just keep our road crew busy here. In fact, I think we're just let them do their own thing here. Do I really want to bring the road through here? Maybe not. Just going to remove these roads. It just occurred to me that we may want to run rail through here, so I want to keep this open for rail track. We can come. Okay, let me just, whoops. Has this been picked up yet? Yeah. I think we will leave a small nub of road there. And then we'll just get our road crew to build all this in. And you can up to there. And you can come into there. Actually, what we will probably do eventually is kind of demolish a lot of this. Get the central committee to decide that we don't need. So connect you to there, and we'll just do exactly the same here. Stop messing about, game. And then we're just connecting. That's way too messy. Move you. And what that will do is get our main roads into our new town here. Anyway, I'm running out of time on this video, so what we're going to do is just do another quick sweep check about what's going on. We need this as a high priority and get this built as well. Do I get both of them working on here? Then we can get some more. I need some more covered holes to be built. Covered holes, Mack trucks. Looks like I might have gone a little bit overboard with the thingies, but we can. Yeah, I've got a bit overly carried away with the fire engines. Okay. One. Two. I think we may have to start thinking about the finding a vehicle park. That is 3. We're gonna. Anyway, we need this built ASAP. Are you working on this? Here you are, but you're not working very fast, are you? Looks like one final check with the prison. We got a few workers in there. We'll probably have to get some of them out working in our factory, so we can't afford them sat around doing nothing. Just check here. We are building up a little bit more here. These really need more. Because what we could do is when one of this is finished, one lot of 6 can work from this one, and one lot of 6 can work from this one. So that they can kind of work backwards and forwards. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.